You are now watching On Point, a news and public affairs show from California State University, Northridge.
Hello and welcome to On Point. I'm your host, Vanessa Roque. Today we'll be talking about animal shelters. Animal shelters in Los Angeles face a number of challenges like underfunding as they rely on government funds and donations, overcrowding which can lead to disease and a negative environment. Even though we are in a large city like Los Angeles, adoption rates are low. This can be traced to a high cost of living, lack of friendly pet apartment, and negative stereotypes associated with animal shelters. With me is pet parent Emerson Van Wee. Thank you for coming today.
Of course.
What kind of animals do you have at home?
I just have one small cat. She's about 1 year old.
What does she look like?
She's white. She's got little gray spots. She's got like little socks, you know.
What inspired you to walk into that pet shelter that day?
We, in my household, have been kind of looking for an animal. We had recently lost our last couple animals about a year before, and it was just time to get a new cat.
Was it love at first sight? How did you?
For sure. She was really friendly. She was meowing at us. It was a whole thing. There was like 6 or 7 of them, but she was the one. We knew.
Oh my gosh. Did you get to like hold her beforehand and
yeah.
like?
She was really tiny. She was only a couple months old at that point. Yeah.
Did you have to bottle feed her?
I don't think so. I think it was just right after the point when we found her.
Did you ever think that you would be a cat owner?
Yeah, even when I was a kid, before we had ever had a cat, I always wanted one. And then I think we got our first cat when I was in 5th grade. Yeah.
Are you astounded with how high they can jump?
Yeah, it's insane every time. It's really crazy when you see her just looking at like somewhere like way above, like on like the rafters or anything, and you're just like, there's no way she'll make it, and she always does.
When she was a baby, did she hide?
Yeah, she was always going under the couch for like the first couple weeks.
Did you ever think like you had lost her for good?
Couple times, yeah. She disappears sometimes. She finds little spots that we've never seen in our house somehow.
What about like the pots and pans? Like,
surprisingly, no. But I'm sure if she could, she probably would.
I'm telling on my cats right now, they would hide in the pots and pans cabinet. It's not cool.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Okay. So what was her name again?
Her name is Ricky.
Ricky, does she have any siblings?
In the shelter, she had a couple of them, but we don't have any at our home, so.
So she's the star of the show.
Yeah.
What's her like mood like?
She's really loud all the time, and she's very, very affectionate. She will just always be on you. She'll always be on somebody in the house until she just decides to not be, and then she'll just disappear for like an hour. But then she'll always come back. She'll meow as crazy as she can.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Does she like wake you up in the middle of the night with Zooms?
Yeah, every time. It's it's worth it though, because it's funny, but I do miss sleeping sometimes.
One eye open and you're just like, they've just run across your face.
Yeah, if I'm ever even taking a nap in the middle of the day, she'll decide to walk in and meow as loud in my ear as possible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she doesn't like it when we sleep.
Do you ever have like Zoom appointments and she kind of like is in the mix?
No, thankfully. I think she's normally really chill during the day. She just decides not to be sometimes.
How do you feel about all those other animals at the shelter?
I wish I could have more animals, but I can't. But I do always hope that they find somewhere that they deserve to be.
How do you feel about those kill shelters? Because that kind of like pulls on my heartstrings.
Yeah, it's definitely a really sad situation for a lot of them.
Have you been to any of those shelters, like after a certain amount of time that they euthanize the pets?
I don't think in my area, I don't think we have any like that. We may have, but I didn't know at the time. But yeah, I know that they're around.
It's wild because it's not like they like post about it. They don't say like we euthanize these pets after 10 days. It's just kind of like they have like a time limit. I follow a few of them like on social media, and it'll say, this is a limited time offer. They've got 10 days, and it's just like, I understand why grandmas have 15 cats. Like, what do you think that we could do as a member of society to get these shelters, their pets adopted quicker?
I think it would probably come down to just more funding, right? Because I feel like they would only euthanize them because they don't have the resources available to them. And if we could just somehow get them more resource, maybe that they could just keep the animals alive.
I wonder, like, if we could find a way, because I feel like social media is, things happen really fast on social media. So, like, for example, like TikTok, and they have like all those silly little dances. Like, can't we include cats or
Yeah, surely.
dogs or hamsters?
Yeah. I do know of one that's for bunnies in my area. I've done some work with them, and they're really, really active, and it's really cute.
I used to have a bunny, like 3 of them.
Oh,
They're
yeah?
adorable.
I do love bunnies.
Yeah, my one was like a chunker. He was like 15 pounds. Yeah,
Wow.
Mr. Nibbles. He was fabulous. So this shelter that you know of was specifically for bunnies?
They had all sorts of animals. They just have a really active bunny program for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe just they have a lot of them, but yeah. They rented out like this giant compound, and they have a bunch of just animals. I don't think they euthanize any, so that's good.
Oh, thank gosh. We're going to switch over to a story really quick. We are going to throw to a story from our reporter, Mark. He visited a pet orphanage in Van Nuys.
These barks tell their own story. As shelters across the LA County reach their maximum capacities, some animals will face an unthinkable fate.
Well, Sally, obviously it's been going on for a while, which is why we started 50 years ago being a rescue. So we're not a shelter. We actually are a rescue, and we like to save lives.
But even for a no-kill shelter like Pet Orphans in Van Nuys, the struggle of maintaining the amount of animals being surrendered or even abandoned has reached its limits.
And so we're doing our job by rescuing, which is why we're full and we don't have any more space. But now the focus is finding them a forever home.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, the amount of adoptions rose, but who could have known that a happy adoption would turn into a somber one?
We've noticed a trend, like 22 and this year, of people returning the pet.
The situation doesn't get any better. While Pet Orphans focuses on rehabilitating the animals, they're finding one issue.
What is difficult, and another epidemic that as a vet clinic that we're experiencing, is finding affordable, high volume spay neuter doctors.
Montgomery says there is a solution for the lack of space and care.
Just hope that more students go to school to become veterinarians, because we need you. The pets need more doctors.
Reporting in Van Nuys, Mark Monroy, On Point.
We're going to discuss more about this story after the commercials. Got some soup for you.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I'm so proud to call you my son.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, Just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
How did you feel about that package?
It was really enlightening.
Story.
Yeah, it was enlightening. It was nice.
That woman was the director over at the shelter that reporter and I visited earlier today, and it sounds like she's swamped with the amount of animals that they can take in. How do you feel about knowing that they're swamped?
Yeah, I mean, it is really sad, and you know, you can't really help it. They're animals, you know. They don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah. We spoke with somebody there at the shelter. She works there, and she said that people are just showing up sometimes with the cats in boxes, and it's like a mama cat with the babies. Like, how would you feel working there?
Probably just as swamped as everybody else. I mean, it sounds like it's really active and really, really difficult to do. And yeah, I don't know how I would feel. It would just be like really. I would feel so responsible for every animal there.
In regards to her mentioning that there should be more people looking forward to becoming a veterinarian, is that something that you've ever thought about trying in your scope?
Yeah, a couple times, especially as like a kid, when you don't know what you want to do, you just kind of know that you like animals, and you're just like, oh, maybe I can be a vet. Maybe, you know, it always feels nice to like want to help them. Not anytime recently though, because you know, but I definitely would if I had the power.
Do you know anybody that wants to become a veterinarian?
I think I know a couple people that would be willing to if they weren't already in like different careers. I know a lot of people that have definitely considered it.
What was their like decision towards not?
I'm not really sure. I don't know them that well, but everybody I think always loves animals, and they're always like, oh, maybe I could be a vet. I think it's always in the back of everyone's mind at least once.
If you were to work there at the shelter, how do you feel like you would conduct your daily business, like to keep your morale up? Because it seems like it'd be really like hard.
Yeah, it would be really difficult. I would probably just have a routine. Probably I would connect with the animals as much as I possibly could without getting too attached, I guess. And I would just be happy knowing that I was helping them, I think.
Going back to your adoption with your baby girl, how was that process? Was it easy? Did you have to like do a background check? Did they were like, what kind of a cat dad are you gonna be, sir?
Yeah, I don't remember if they did a background check or not, but it was a really easy process. We just kind of showed up and picked, you know, one or two that we kind of wanted, and then we just sort of, I think about a week later we went back and we picked our little girl, and then we just took her home. It was pretty easy, really smooth.
Do you think this process was easy in regards to adopting? Like, do you think that was easy?
Yeah, I think it was a lot easier than maybe people even think it would have been. Like, it was really just show up, you know, find the cat that we wanted, and then we just kind of took her home. It wasn't anything complicated at all.
In this story that we just saw, she mentioned how like a lot of people were experiencing, like during COVID times, we were all kind of in a lockdown, and that a lot of people had adopted cats and dogs and other animals, and now that life has somewhat come back to normal, that a lot of these animals ended up back into the shelter. Like, do you know anybody that, or did you see online people posting that, oh, I've got a new, you know, I've got a little new addition, and and now those stories are like silent.
Yeah, I knew a couple people that got animals during COVID, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody personally take them back. But I was surprised to hear that's what people do.
The adoption process. I'm wondering have you ever been to like one of those places that the shelters throw? It's kind of like a little event where they've got multiple animals out there. Do you think those are like helpful or?
Definitely, yeah. I think, especially if they get it on social media and they like market it enough for people to actually see. I think seeing all the animals at the same time, they're all playing, you see all their personalities all at the same time, it's kind of a lot more helpful than just like seeing them in a cage or anything. So I think those events definitely can help.
I feel like, what if we could just throw some kind of like carnival or something, make it like a party, you know, make it fun, and then like bring their little pets and make this more mainstream. So it's, have you seen stuff online from shelters like around here in particular?
I don't think I have. I don't think it's ever come across my feed, but besides the one that I had worked with previously. But I know that they do some things like that sometimes, where they just kind of let all the bunnies run together and have fun and just let people watch.
What about those dojo videos on, come on, those are good ones. Those are on
Those are
Facebook.
really cute.
Ranchers, because like you see that these people are taking in these animals that are covered in boo-boos or, you know, that are like lacking stability. Like they attach wheels, okay? They attach wheels to dogs.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the story, the dog is completely rehabilitated and you're just like, I'm so attached to Henry.
I need a dog now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that I wanted a duck. Like that kind of story.
It's I love those videos just because they make me want these different animals that I never even considered. And it's just, animals are just so cute. I don't know.
All right. We're going to talk more about this in a moment. We're going to throw to another story. Earlier this week, Giselle Lomelli visited Wings of Rescue, a nonprofit organization that operates the nation's largest sanctuary for homeless animals.
Today, we're here at the Guardian Jet Center in Ontario, California, where nonprofit organization Wings of Rescue will be transporting dogs from Riverside to Madison, Wisconsin, for a second chance in finding their forever home. Wings of Rescue has traveled to 13 countries saving endangered animals from overcrowded shelters and natural disasters. CEO Rick Browdy says the organization has flown over 69,000 pets, including exotic animals.
The shelters are forced to kill everything that is in the shelter to make room for the pets that are coming in. So we're saving those pets and opening up kennel space for the pets that were coming in, so that they can be reunited with their families, hopefully.
Pilots Angie and Kale Garcia say they will be transporting 21 dogs, which is a quarter out of the over 2,000 pets they have saved.
This is our volunteer hobby, and you get addicted to it. It's so much fun. So for 15 years, we've just continued filling the back of our plane.
We started with a little plane and a bigger plane, and now we got it.
CEO Rick Browdy says people need to practice good animal care and treat them humanely because they are more than just pets.
When you're bringing pets to people for they can be adopted, you're bringing solace, you're bringing companionship, you're bringing love.
Wings of Rescue will be taking flight again this Saturday, saving 101 pets. I'm Giselle O'Malley.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Come on, let's go.
Just a minute, I gotta finish this.
Wait, you're gonna post those pictures of Mary?
Yep. She thinks she's so hot.
But her mom and dad will see them. Her grandmother, her little sister, everyone she knows, it's gonna kill her.
Who cares? Just a couple of pictures. It's no big deal.
No big deal? Don't. This has gotta stop.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
I came to CSUN to learn. I came to CSUN to grow. I came to CSUN to prepare. I learned to ask, to analyze, to communicate. I grew as a writer, a thinker, a citizen. I left CSUN prepared to participate, prepared to contribute, prepared to lead.
Aloha, I'm Linda Lingle, and I'm a matador.
So going back to what we just saw right now, this story, it's pretty impactful. They are literally shipping hundreds of animals in an airplane.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I would have never thought to do that.
Those little sweeties just barking inside of an airplane.
Yeah, the one in the cockpit was so cute.
Oh my God, adorable. How do you feel like, on a grand scheme of things, how important the mission is for these shelters?
On a grand scheme, I think if animals make people happy, making people happy is just the goal, I think, you know? If everyone's happy in the world, I think it's just a better place.
Are you doing okay today? You need a kitten.
Exactly, yeah.
I think that would be great. Oh my gosh, can you imagine just going to some country that kind of seems to have a little chip on their shoulder, not mentioning which countries, okay, but here's kittens.
Yeah, I think it would...
Parachutes.
Yeah, depression rates just completely gone. Everybody just needs a cat.
I feel like I want to bring up the happy stuff because the death part is it's so intense to know that, you know, first of all, we live in California, right? So there's a bunch of homeless people. Right. So now we've got homeless pets, but what's wild is that these ones are being euthanized. It's like, that's real, that these things are living human creatures. Human, okay, come on, we're a fur family. We know, we know. Yeah. They speak to us.
We understand.
In ways that...
Yeah. Everybody who's ever had a pet knows that their pet understands them on the deepest level.
You're cooking food in the kitchen and you know that they know.
Yeah. We speak the same language, they're just meowing it, and that's the difference.
Absolutely, and I think that's valid. Their voices are heard.
Yeah, definitely. All hours of the night.
Absolutely, with those zoomies.
Yeah.
But with the death thing, like, could we find a way? Like, if you were a government official, what would you do? Or what would you want to do?
As a government official, I don't know necessarily what I could do, only because I don't know what government officials do. But I do know as just a citizen, I feel like if everybody just kind of spent more time realizing how big of a problem it actually is that there are like homeless animals and everything, I feel like every little bit, even just like one in like 100 people, if they just decided to help when they previously weren't, it would definitely make the problem smaller, you know?
Mm-hmm. What about like artists? You see like how like Taylor Swift can come to, you know, California and just like sell out and all that stuff. Can you imagine if she were to just plug in, hey, we've got Henry over here?
Yeah, it would be just Taylor Swift making one post a week saying, hey, adopt a cat. I think millions of people are adopting a cat. It's just that easy. She just needs to do it.
Yeah, Beyonce's next.
Mm-hmm. Literally anybody, really. It doesn't have to, like anybody with 1 million followers, just put on your story, hey, get a cat. It's
right.
that easy.
I feel like maybe that could mitigate some deaths and save some lives. Yeah. I want to bring up back in the day, those pet animal movies, like Bud, Bud or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the basketball dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe to bring those stories back.
Yeah, we haven't seen any like that in
Beethoven?
a while. Yeah, I forgot the type of dog he is, but the giant one.
He was a big boy.
Yeah, that was a whole thing. I think we had that on VHS. Anyway, not important, but yeah, just bring back good animal propaganda. That's what we need.
What about people that fall in love at the pet store? We're playing a little bit of tennis right now because a little bit of good, little spice, and a little bit of sweet, like, because we gotta, you know, it's our heartstrings, okay?
Yeah, it can't be too sad for too long.
Absolutely not. But going back to adopting, what about those people that fall in love with pets and then 2 years later they realize like, hey, puppy life, that was cute.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna return you now because like you're driving me nuts because you keep chewing my wires.
Yeah. There is a thing where I feel like people, when they are adopting from more cruel shelters, maybe not even just more cruel shelters, but people aren't as like aware to adopt older animals. People see a dog that's like 10 years old and they're like, I don't want to adopt that, you know, because it's like, it's not as cute as the puppies, or it's like, maybe it's going to die soon. But it is something that I think people should keep in mind, or it's, you see an older animal at a shelter, just get it. It's fine.
Little angels.
Yeah, they're just as valid as the tiny ones.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Like somebody that's like in a, I don't know, like an assisted shelter, like a human one, that they're being like taken care of. They're older, they're on their last leg, and then they adopt a puppy. Like how selfish, like that would be fantastic to, or you know, to find a senior pet.
Yeah, and you know, they're already grown, that you don't need to like deal with any of the puppy, you know, problems where they're just chewing all your furniture and whatever. They're a good boy, you know, even if they're 10 years old, 20 years old. Sometimes you see them, like, it's, you know,
they should get some love too.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to wrap up our show today for On Point. Again, this is my lovely guest, and thank you for being here today.